Chinese cars are taking over the whole world. You might be thinking I'm overestimating it. No. Really, the Chinese cars are overtaking the world. For example, I tell you about BYD. It's now very famous, especially in Europe and in Germany. Yes, Germany, the car nation number one. It produces so many cars. BMW, Mercedes, Opel, which you probably haven't heard, Audi and many other cars. But when it comes to electric, the Chinese cars are head on with the German car makers and are actually overtaking them. For example, BYD is now the second largest electric car maker in the world. They are number one in China, where they are from, and they are estimated by 2024 to overtake Tesla, becoming the number one electric car sales company of the world. China has right now estimated 300 different electric car makers. 300. Think about it, just in China. With this, China has a huge advantage against any other country. But this is also a very good news for the world. Why? Because we will soon have way more electric cars around the world. The problem is Tesla and other electric cars are very pricey. China is making affordable electric cars and of course luxury electric cars as well. Throughout the videos I will show you different images of Chinese cars, buses, bicycles and all the other things. China is investing hugely into electric, not just into cars, but into the whole system. Electric bike, electric cars, electric buses, electric trains. And to make sure all of the electric cars can run smoothly, China is creating electric stations throughout the entire country. Of course, in the huge cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, but also in smaller cities that have just 1 million people. Yeah, just 1 million because it's China, right? But yeah, the whole system, a whole network is being created so that car drivers can drive from city to city without the fear of having no station available, which unfortunately is still true in America and Europe as well. One of the awesome things is I show you right now here is the solar panels on the surface of lakes. Why destroy forests and places where we can grow food when we can simply use the surfaces of the lakes to create energy? By the way, electric bikes, electric buses are not a new story in China. In China, it's like an old story already. They have them for years already. I saw already electric buses, when was it? 6 years, 7 years ago when I was in Shenzhen in China, and I saw them. And electric bikes and such, I saw them in Beijing years ago already. Just in the recent years, they have been implemented in our Western country. And I remember when I saw some politicians or some government agencies showing off the electric bikes in their cities, and they're like, oh my God, we're so futuristic. And I'm like, China has them for years, for over a decade already in the cities and area, and they are not making such a big deal. But here we get 5 in one city and they're like, oh my God, we're so progressive. That's nothing in comparison to China. Now here's one thing that you might not be aware as an English speaker. In Germany, not everyone is happy about all the electric cars from China. Not because of the quality. The quality is first class. And some of the German car makers admitted it and said, you know, they are actually either equal to our German cars or actually sometimes above us. Especially the software and the engineering, the technology is higher than the German car makers. And I mean, like German car makers, when they are admitting it, then we can see it's true. And that means a lot because we know German car makers, we are doing a good job, right? But this is also the problem for Germany, because Germany makes a lot of money by creating cars, and the whole industry creates jobs that creates jobs that creates jobs. It's a trickle down. Now we are having more and more electric cars coming in from China, and electric cars are first of all cheaper, same or better quality. So more and more German consumers are saying, why should I bother buying a more expensive German car? I know it's from our nation and whatnot, but people have to also think, well, I need to be able to afford one in the first place. And if they can't buy one and have to continue driving a gasoline vehicle, then there's no choice. So either they're buying the Chinese one or they're buying none. So there we have it. So what has the government in Germany done? Well, they are not very pleased, I can tell you, because they are really scared that many jobs will go away from the car sector in Germany, because electric cars are the future. I myself, I would love to own one. And if someone is so kind enough to send me one for free, I will gladly accept it. So the German government is now stepping up and saying, well, we need to make the playing field even. So they're saying China has a huge advantage against Germany because the labor costs are lower there, and they have the minerals for the battery, and they have the battery technology which they've worked on themselves and they paid for it and everything. So it's quite an uneven comparison. Also, one thing that the German government and most of the European countries are saying is China has an unequal advantage because the Chinese government is putting a lot of money into those companies, supporting them to develop green technology. And apparently that's a bad thing because they are saying to China, stop doing that. They are saying, China, stop investing so much money into green energy, which I think is a little bit weird considering the whole climate and everything. The EU and all the countries have said, well, we need to lower our carbon emission and everything. And more people are calling Germany and the EU on it and saying, hey, wait a minute, we need to make a better environment. For this, we need electric vehicles, not just cars, but bicycles, buses and such, all that China is producing. So we should encourage China to produce more and send them to our countries, especially if we don't produce them ourselves or if we produce them way too expensive. And I agree with it. I mean, I would like to have an electric car. Here in Canada, we are not producing electric cars, so why not send them over here so we can buy them ourselves and use them for the betterment of the environment, right? With this video, I also hope to enlighten the people a little bit about what's going on there, and because it is a really, how should I say it, stupid situation that now we have more electric cars coming in, but suddenly the Western governments, which are pro green energy, suddenly are against the development of green energy. It's such a really weird situation. So I'll be clear right now, I say no, that we should definitely not stop Chinese electric cars coming into our country. I mean, like, we all benefit from more electric cars into our city. I myself, when I'm making YouTube videos and I walk around here, now here it's quiet, but everywhere here in my city in Canada, it's so loud because the burner vehicles, they are loud, they're huge engines and everything, and then I have to cut out all the loud noises all the time, and it gets on my nerves and it takes a lot of time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a like, that really helps me out, and I wish you and your family the very best. Until next time, goodbye.